Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra, and in this video we're going to be focusing on the auto sales that have come in for the month of November. It's the 1st of December, and as every month we do get the previous month's sales figures that actually gives us the idea of what is the consumer demand. Are people really spending big on buying cars, buying new vehicles, buying two-wheelers? What are the trends of domestic sales? What are the trends of total sales? The export figures, as well as what is the divergence that you see between four-wheelers and two-wheelers, that actually gives you a sense of understanding of how the cars were sold in the urban areas versus the rural areas as well. So November sales for the month of for autos has actually been a mixed bag. We've seen that the passenger vehicle segment has actually grown in single or low single digits, while the two-wheeler segment has actually seen to make a comeback in a big way. Exports, however, remain a pain point for the four-wheelers again. Let's start off with the largest car maker of India, Maruti Suzuki. Here, the total dispatches to the dealerships had risen 3.4% year-on-year. Maruti sold 1.6 lakh units in November. The growth was yet again driven by the utility vehicle sales, while dispatches in the mini and the compact segment continued to decline too. The sales highlights include that the total sales were up by 1.6% to overall 1.4 lakh units. Sales in mini and compact segment fell by 18% to 74,638 units. And Maruti's entry-level cars have actually seen a drop of 45% in November. You know, cars like Alto, which were once the best-selling cars for Maruti Suzuki. In fact, we've also seen that the utility vehicle sales have jumped 50% for Maruti. So a clear trend there. People are actually going after UVs and SUVs and not really buying that many mini or compact cars in the passenger vehicle segment. Let's see if this trend is similar for Tata Motors this time around too. The total dispatches for Tata Motors to dealerships fell by 1% to 72,647 units in November, as both passenger vehicles and commercial vehicles witnessed a decline in sales. Here the sales snapshot actually shows you passenger vehicles declining by 1% to 46,143 units, electric passenger vehicle sales rising by 7% to 4,761 units, and the total commercial vehicle sales falling by 4% to 28,029 units. However, the heavy commercial vehicle sales rose by 1% in this month as well. Now, when we talk about M&M, Mahindra and Mahindra, here the automotive major reported a total auto sales at 70,576 vehicles for the month of November, which is a growth of 21% from 58,303 units in the same month last year that we had seen. Here, the passenger vehicle sales during the month increased 32% to 39,981 units, backed by the strong demand for SUV portfolio. Overall, here for M&M, the exports of the company in November declined by 42% to just about 1,816 units that were sold in the month of November outside of the country. Ashok Leyland, another very key player in the commercial vehicle space. Let's see how the trend was for this company in the month of November. The total dispatches to dealerships by Ashok Leyland fell by about 3%. It only sold 14,053 units, with a fall in sales in both medium and the heavy commercial vehicles. Here the total sales of the medium and heavy commercial vehicles fell by 10% to 8,500 units. Light commercial vehicle sales rose, however, by 9% to 5,553 units. Escorts Kubota, another major player, especially in the tractor space. How did that fare in November? It reported a positive trend in November, with the auto sales seeing a 3.7% year-on-year increase, reaching 8,258 units compared to 7,960 units previous time. Now, despite some variations in the festive demand across the states, the overall performance showcases a robust market response for tractors too. Now, let's come to the two-wheelers, which have actually seen some improvement coming in after a long haul of challenges, including the semiconductor shortages and the sales or the tepid demand for two-wheelers that was seen in the previous few months. Bajaj Auto has witnessed a substantial year-on-year growth in the total sales in November, recording an impressive 31% increase from 3.06 lakh units to 4.03 lakh units in the month of November. Here, the two-wheeler segment has notably contributed to the success, with a significant uptick of 33%, reaching to 3.49 lakh units compared to just 2.6 lakh units in the previous year, same month. Now, when we talk about TVS Motor, you will see a similar trend here. TVS Motor Company sold 3,64,231 units in November in 2023. That's again a 31% year-on-year rise compared to 2,77,123 units that were sold in the same period last year. The two-wheeler sales here were up by 34%, increasing from 2,63,642 units in November 2022 to this time around recording a 3,52,103 units as well. And that's what the company has also talked about. Here, the domestic two-wheeler sales were up by 50%, going from just about 1.9 lakh units in last year's November to 2.87 lakh units in the month of November of 2023. The motorcycle sales have also registered a growth of 19%, with the sales rising from 1.4 lakh units back in the year 2022 in November to 1.7 lakh units in the month of November 2023 as well. So that's as far as the overall scene is concerned in the motorcycle space. The scooter sales registered an impressive 62% rise as well, with the sales increasing from 83,679 units last year to 1,35,749 units for the company in November of 2023. So you talk about the two-wheelers, including scooters and motorbikes for the company, definitely showing an improvement, and this is not just for TVS Motor but also for Bajaj Auto as well. Overall, passenger vehicles, low single-digit growth for most, exports declining in trend, and which is why you also saw the Nifty Auto declining. Today was a historic day at the stock markets. You saw the Nifty climbing to fresh record highs. Barring the Nifty Auto, rest of the sectors were all up into the green, and therefore you can see some reflection coming in on the disappointments that the four-wheeler majors and the largest car makers of India saw on the passenger vehicle side, on the low mini and compact segment side, as well as on exports as well. SUVs, utility vehicles still showing some promise as well. So that's as far as the auto sales sentiment is concerned. We'll continue to get you more numbers as they flow in going forward too. Many thanks for joining us onto this special edition, but do stay tuned on to Business Today TV to catch all the updates from the world of business and stock markets.